entitled, self-righteous and resentful bitter man!
I've met some Actually, have you met the guy who's doing this film?
This place is everything. Fucking sound. I didn't know whether I was allowed to swear.
So I'm watching, she said, well, I like a shelf put up there. I said, I don't do DIY. She said, go and get yourself a book and learn. So I went down our library, I said, have you got any books on shelves? She's taking the fucking piss. And I got out the book, I got the dictionary out. There's a word you can't find in the dictionary, camouflage. Anyway, I got the dictionary out and I looked up the word paranoid. And do you know what it says? What do you want to know for?
My first gig at the Bush was back in October 2013. I was always told about the Bush being the place to come and try and be funny. I came here, thoroughly enjoyed it. The place was really warming. Customers are great. The actual audience was great. Best thing about the Bush is probably the fact that it's still in 1973 with a hint of Peaky Blinder.
Where was I? Oh yes, I don't know if any of you are fans of top international comedy, but that's why I'm here. People say, Jimmy, are you the best comedian I'm going to see this week, this year, or maybe even this decade? And the answer, of course, is maybe not as far as laughs are concerned. But it depends how you rate your comedy. What scale do you use? I'm one of these guys, I'm one of these top comedians who thinks that if you go for the big laughs, if the audience is laughing too much, they can't hear what you're saying. And neither can the person next to you.
I Facebooked Dave to say, can I have a gig? And I hadn't been gigging for long, and I came with my friend Marie, and we drove here, and we spent ages trying to find it, and I got here and it looked absolutely boarded up, and all the lights were out, and I was really terrified. And we got out of the car and walked along the road, and then I was listening in at the courtyard, and there was this strange kind of smell in the air, and then all of a sudden I heard this deep rasping laugh.
You're on now, mate.
And
outside.
Laters.
He shut up for 20 minutes while you setting up, and then he's done.
You have not had a stroke. This is actually happening, yeah? Yeah? Hello, mate. Hi, was it warm in the ground this morning?
It's one of them places where you can't recreate. There's pubs that have comedy nights, but this isn't a pub with a comedy night, it's the Hollybush. That's what it is.
Yeah. Now, I'm told that women can now have orgasms. Now, obviously some people don't know. I found it really hard to believe too, but apparently it's true. Some scientists done some study somewhere, I don't know. But basically, I found there are only two types of women having an orgasm. There are lip biters and screamers. Okay, and I can tell just by looking at a woman what kind of woman you are, if you're a screamer or a lip biter. I'm just going to go through your slim pickings here tonight. Screamer. Screamer? Yeah, definitely. What have we got? Yeah, you howl at the fucking moon, don't you? They are definitely a lip biter there, and the only other woman in the the corner there. You want everybody to think you're a lip biter, but you're a screamer, really. Yes, I've got that one nailed. I'll do that for one reason, and for one reason only, because I don't care if I'm right or if I'm wrong. It's just that the next time you have an orgasm, you'll briefly think about me. And that gives me pleasure.
The Bush is my favourite venue in all the land, and the reason it's my favourite is because I actually feel at home here. It's chilled, relaxed, everybody gets along. The acts know when they come, they're going to get a nice welcoming audience, and I actually love the place. It's the one place I'm happy to come and get drunk at, and I know it's just like being around family. Great place, I love it.
Barry's had enough, Barry's had enough. Barry's brother, ladies and gentlemen. Barry's brother. There you go. The old chimney sweep. Stand up. On my house, I'll give you the key. Oh, now let's get together in perfect harmony. Shakey shakers! I got 20 acres, and you got 43. I got a brand new combine harvester, and I'll give you the key. For 7 long years I lived alone in this place. Pig soup in the kitchen, it's a proper disgrace. Now if I cleaned it up, would you change your mind? I'll give up drinking Scrumpy and have lager and line, cause I got a brand new combine harvester and I'll give you the key. Come on now, let's get together in perfect harmony. I got 20 acres and you got 43. 43! Got a brand new combine. Let's hear it. One week ran couple at that last Wurzel dance. I wore brand new gaiters and me corduroy pants. In your new Sunday dress, with your perfume smelling grand. We had our photos stuck in our holding hands. And I got a brand new combine harvester and I'll give you the key. And now let's get together in perfect harmony. I got 20 acres and you got 43. I got a brand new combine harvester and I'll give you the key. Ha ha!
I said, do you like me? She says, I like you in a Stella Artois sort of way. I said, what, clean and crisp with a nice head? She said, no, I'd need about 10 cans before I'd shag you. So we went back to hers and made love till the sun came up and told us to keep the fucking noise down. He was on nights, it's me, I'm a screamer. I was just fucking happy to be there, to be honest with you. But she left me, they all fucking leave me in the end, but where's the art? Oh, it's more like therapy this is than comedy, it's fucking bad.
The great thing about this place, they always give you another chance. It's Wolfie, the audience, all of them, they're not people who, well, you were shit last time, you're going to be shit this time, and judge you before you start. They always give you another chance. And I think it was the gig after that I did here, and just had a wonderful, wonderful gig, and they were laughing in all the right places, and it was an emotive gig for me just because he was talking about all my depression and all that sort of stuff, and getting over that, and it was just, it's literally two sides of the same coin, isn't it? And there's no feeling like it. Having a good gig is one thing. Having a good gig with the purple curtain behind you, something else.
Is that your girlfriend? From wife? From that? Yeah. Are we all sure that's your wife? Yeah. It's a joke! I'm implying about your sexuality. Let's see some magic, everybody, yeah? But seriously though, mate, fucking hell, punching above your weight there. Fucking hell. Your wife is fucking gorgeous. No, seriously, I would want my knackers flat. I mean, empty, yeah? Empty. Any feminists in? You might as well fuck off.
But we had a lovely send off for him, and you know, you're in the church, and you know what kids are like. You know, kids are always on the phone at night. You know what I mean? I mean, this young girl's got hers. Is that your phone charging there? Is it one of them? You get these little phones, and you get these big, massive battery packs with them. But yeah, you might as well just carry a big red fucking phone box around with you. Do you know what I mean? That's what you want to do. But kids are always on the phone at night. They're always on the bastard phone, and we're in the church at Grandad's funeral, and my nephew, he goes, Steve. I said, shut up. He said, Steve. I said, shut up. He just kept going on. I said, Steve. I said, what? He said, you know the Wi-Fi code? I said, show some respect for the dead. He said, is that all in lowercase? That's all from me, folks. This has been a lovely early morning gig. Keep supporting Bushfest, keep supporting Dave, because what he does here is absolutely miraculous, let me tell you that now, do you know what I mean? The man puts a lot of hard work into getting blasted, pissed out of his brain every Thursday and completely fucking the comedy night up, but no one can do that week after week, so you know, give him a fucking big round of applause, everybody. Big round of applause for Dave. Thank you very much. Good night.
He's fucking brilliant today.
Well, to be honest, I haven't been back here for a little while because I've started to get like quite a lot of weekend work, but this place, if it wasn't for this place, I wouldn't be where I am now, because this is where I've honed my craft, and well, it's the home of black country comedy, isn't it? So big up Dave Francis and the Bush. Definitely the place to be if you want to get into comedy.
What else can I tell you? Oh, have you heard this? This happened quite locally recently. A man was tragically crushed by a red lorry, and then a yellow lorry, and then a red lorry, and then a yellow lorry. Have you heard that? And the police went round to tell the family. They said, look, there's no easy way to say this. 200 retweets, that one. So I like that one. A lion, a witch and a wardrobe go into an Irish bar. The barman says, I'm serving Narnia. That's the peaked. What else I'll tell you? I recently bought a couple of pairs of trainers from Shoe Zone because I needed some good quality boxes.
Hey mate, listen, I ain't bothered about you being in here, but are you going to buy a drink or what?
Oh, well, fuck, that tap water in the toilet's better than what you got with them pipes. I clean my pants more than you clean them pipes. Fuck your arsehole, it's crap. Don't bother coming down. Arsehole.
What does the bush mean to me? As the great Shank said, it's in a matter of life and death. It's more important than that. I've been lost without this place, it's my life.
Think once, think twice, think fork, spoon and knife. Good evening, my name's Ian Crawford, the traditional spelling I-A-N. I'm here from the Sheffield office of the Steel and Cutlery Manufacturers, Allied Trades, Industries and Guilds Association. SACMATIAGA for short. This is our current logo. We had a young lad on work experience 5 years ago, did that for us. Tonight's presentation is funded, 50% funding from SACMATIAGA, 40% courtesy of the Arts Council, as long as I remember to include a poem, and 8.5% Dave's of Bronfield. That's for your floor coverings, that's your vinyls, your carpets, and your laminates, and it's that 8.5% that means I must just mention it might be hot out there, but Dave's got some hot bargains. Come on in and he'll floor you with a great deal. 9 till 5, 6 days a week, early closing Wednesdays. There's free parking all the way along the street there. And to be honest, you'll never have trouble getting a spot. We must press on. He asked me to animate it. We paid £5 extra for that. Now we're just going to do for a quick case studies. Let's learn from their misfortune. We've got a 44-year-old, he's male, he's home alone, nothing wrong with that. This is the 21st century, washing up, his dishwasher's broken, and he's got a fork in his hand. There's a spillage. Had he mopped what he dropped, he would still be alive today. Sadly, he didn't. Soap, suds, water, tiles, kitchen, fork in your hand. He slipped and he tripped, and I'm afraid the fork penetrated the rectum, basically the anus, straight up into the inner and lower intestine, straight through his steak and kidneys, I'm afraid. He collapsed on the floor and he bled to death. I said to his wife, who found him, if it's any consolation, he probably didn't feel a thing. Obviously he felt something as the fork jabbed up his arse, but after 2 or 3 minutes, once the blood drained from his body and he slipped into unconsciousness, once he went past that initial agony, he wouldn't have felt a thing. Once his heart stopped beating and he stopped breathing, we're pretty certain scientifically he wouldn't at that stage have felt a thing. But, by the way, I should just warn you, if you are luckily, but if we can learn from their tragedy, then we can. Are fork-related injuries rare? Sadly not. They're on the increase, up 7%. They're still happening, and kids are especially vulnerable. People say, is that true? I've got a mistake on this slide. You probably spot it. It's a 3-hole injury caused by a 4-pronged fork. Do you see what I mean? But anyway, people say, oh, with software and the internet, that could be fake or anything. Let's look at the evidence. Now, I should just warn you, if you are of a nervous disposition, up until, if this is what it takes to get the message across, then my work has been worth doing. I know what you're thinking. I thought he was joking. I thought it was just a laugh, all this cutlery stuff. You'll be giving your cutlery more respect in the morning, trust me. I know what you're thinking. What about the people in the back? Let's zoom in. Just remember, rough enough for one. I will be handing out a little flyer. If you drop, then mop. Oh, that spit. If only he'd followed this advice, he would still be alive today. I'm going to have to go, folks, but I've had a good time. You're all going to get your certificates in the post, and of course, remember, it's all for a great cause. People say to me, how do you relax, Ian? The truth is, I write a bit of poetry, so I'll just finish on that if that's okay. Oh, there we go. And it goes like this. Now, I was inspired by Nelson Mandela's funeral. I don't know if you saw, there was a chap there doing hand signals. Did you see him? To make sure everybody got the message. So I'm going to be doing some to my poem. Don't be a loon, never run with a spoon. Take care of that knife. It could take a life. And whether you make love in Cradley Heath, the wider West Midlands, or York, please remember, never fuck with a fork. My name's Deeley Ian Crawford, your certificate's in the post. Thank you very much, stay safe.